And we're back.
We're
Final
back.
episode, 3 hours long of pure commercial torture. No.
Yeah, seriously though, it really was.
I can't with the commercials. I'm like,
I
oh my
know,
gosh.
especially near the end. Like the closer
Oh,
to the end it gets, it's literally like they come back. Jeff's like, "Welcome back. Tonight we're talking to Kyle about his win right after this." And then
I
it's like
know.
another
I know. It's like
commercial.
2 seconds of the show and then five
Yeah,
minutes of commercial. It's like,
yeah,
yeah.
brutal.
It was nice though being able to go and join you guys watching the final, the last
Yeah.
half, because Matt bailed on me because he got bored
Yeah.
because of the turn of events. So let's start at the beginning. What did we begin at? I don't even have notes on the beginning because I was sitting on the couch with Matt. Um, I guess we come in
So,
with the final five, right? So who's the final
right.
five? We got Joe, Camilla, Kyle, Eva, Mitch,
Mhm. That's it.
and basically
Yep.
right into a reward slash immunity challenge,
Mhm.
which is
Yeah.
basically like the last survivor run, get muddy kind of thing.
Mhm.
And Camilla comes in with a win from
Yeah, and
the,
it was
which
such a
was
good challenge
it was a really good
because
challenge.
yeah.
So it was like the challenge where they run through the mud and then they have to move those bean bags, move that ball through, get a key, and then
Yeah.
at the fire puzzle. So it's always the
Yeah.
fire puzzle at the end because Joe got there first. Easy peasy. Joe
Mhm.
got there first, and then who was it?
Yeah.
Mitch, and
Mitch.
then
And then
Kyle,
I think Kyle and then Eva and then yeah,
Eva, and
Camilla was
then Camilla
dead
was.
last.
Yeah, I honestly didn't think she was gonna get out of that little twisty,
Yeah, she was
muddy
still trying to
thing.
get through the muddy tunnel, but when
Uh-huh.
Joe or yeah, Joe was already at the puzzle. So
Yeah,
I was like, well, R.I.P. Camilla.
he had been at that puzzle and hadn't even gotten one piece of anything.
Yeah.
And then the minute that Camilla got there, she's like, "Oh, first piece, easy." And then she just did it. Like
Yeah.
so just boop, 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 boop. It was all laid out perfectly for her.
Yeah.
But Eva was having some issues getting that ball into that hoop.
Yeah.
And that was kind of when Joe kind of got to the puzzle. And I'm like, I wonder if he just kind of like stopped trying at that moment and like,
Hmm.
oh, wait for Eva. Like, should I wait for Eva?
Yeah.
Should I go back and help her? Like,
Right.
it,
I don't know.
it's
Yeah, because it
like he
was
didn't
like,
have any. So I'm like, what is going on,
right.
Joe? Come on.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, that's interesting. I didn't think about that, but it was also funny because I totally like just that one part where at the beginning of the challenge where Jeff explained Eva's advantage, where she could skip that little part of the challenge where you have to toss the ball into the little hoop that raises the flag, and I totally missed that part.
Oh,
Anyways, so when it got to that part and Eva just runs up and is like, bam, like slams it, I was like, she's cheating. Did you see that? Jeremiah's like, yeah, that was part of her advantage. I was like, oh,
oh yeah, she
whoops.
didn't have to run in and get the
Yeah.
yeah.
So,
Cool.
but I feel like that of all of the parts wasn't that much of an advantage. Like if it was skipping the mud tunnel, that would have been a big advantage. But just
Yeah.
that tossing that one ball like wasn't that hard.
I
So
know. Mitch made it look so easy.
yeah, well, he's an
Mitch made
amazing tosser.
I know, yeah,
He
I
throws
know.
anything if he has to throw something at something, he's the guy for it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Poor Mitch, though. This was his last
oh
everything, and it was so annoying just like listening to all of them. Yeah, Mitch, you're going home. Yeah, Mitch, you're going home. Like, no, no ideas to try to get Joe out or anyone or
I
Eva. I
know.
mean,
Well, and I think
uh,
it's because they all knew that Mitch wasn't great to have at the end of the game because he was so liked by everybody. He really didn't have any enemies,
yeah.
you know, so no one really wanted to sit with him at the end, which is a compliment,
Yeah, I
but
know.
it
It
was
just was
sad to
like,
watch and boring to watch.
I know. And it was just like,
I was
gosh,
like, why are
Mitch,
we
you
even doing this
should.
whole freaking thing?
Yeah, you should
So,
have done the move when you had the chance to do the move.
yeah.
Anyway, lessons learned. Next time I go on Survivor, I am not gonna not make the move.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, you're
Um,
gonna jump in there like Say and just start whooping butts and piss
honestly,
everyone off.
yeah. I almost wish that Say was on the jury like instead of like maybe Chrissy, I don't know. Chrissy did
Yeah.
have some good talking points at the end. She actually
Yeah.
made some sense, and I liked how she was pushing back on some of their niceness and their like
Yeah.
loyalty. Those anyway, we'll get to that. So Camilla wins. And she gets to go on like a little reward,
Hmm.
and she gets to pick one person, and she chooses Eva, which is interesting
Yeah.
because that
I
anyway.
know. I was like, I feel like you could have at least picked Mitch if you guys all know he's going home. But I mean, then he's just going to Ponderosa, so he'll get his own little reward, but food
Yeah.
reward. But yeah,
Hmm.
I just felt, yeah, I'm like,
Yeah. I'm
Eva
like,
has had
what
like
is
the
going
cream of the
on?
crop with prizes this season.
As I was like, oh, is she gonna take Eva to kind of like make Eva feel good so she doesn't give her idol to Joe? And then like try to like and then go back to camp and like be like with Kyle and be like, okay, we're getting
Right.
Joe out. Don't tell anyone. Eva's
Oh, I don't
comfortable.
know. Yeah.
And if
I
Eva's
don't
comfortable,
know.
Joe's comfortable. And then Mitch will do anything. Mitch is down to do anything, right? So I was like, oh,
Right.
maybe, but no, nothing like that.
But I feel like they were just all, everyone was just on team ditch Mitch. Ditch
Yeah.
Mitch.
Team
They were
ditch
over
Mitch. And it
it.
was sad. And that was the point when Matt was like, okay, I'm out of here. I have better things to do than
Oh,
watch this
really?
predictable
The Mitch
show.
vote? Yeah.
Yeah, because at that point, everyone was like, oh, here we go. It's going to be a Joe and Eva thing, right? Oh, no,
Mhm.
actually, it wasn't until then. It was, so they have their muddy reward,
Yeah.
and that came of nothing because there was no strategy. Mitch goes out at the immunity. There was nothing going on at that first immunity, like, or not the immunity, tribal council because everyone knew Mitch was going out, right?
Hmm.
Nothing important was said. Mitch goes, and that was it.
Hmm.
So then they come into the next challenge, right? The final immunity challenge, which is that puzzle ball thing where they have to put the puzzle or the ball in and like wait a certain amount of time to like juggle those two balls. And
Hmm.
it could get up to how many? How many ever until people drop out, right?
Yeah.
So
That
we're
one's
at that
stressful.
one, and that one was good. That's a classic Survivor challenge up on that
Yeah. I
cliff.
had
Like,
completely forgotten about that challenge till I saw it again.
yeah, it's a good
So that was
one.
fun. Yeah, I
And
liked
it
it.
almost like seems easy, but the minute you think it starts to be easy, then that's the minute you mess up.
Yeah,
So it's like a tricky
that's true.
mind challenge like that.
Hmm.
Um, so Kyle wins this one,
Hmm.
and he has to decide, you know, who's he taking and da 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 da, and who's making fire.
Hmm.
Am I missing anything? I feel like I'm missing something.
No, that was pretty much it. Like it was just boom, boom, boom. And I was, well, okay, I wasn't surprised that he picked Joe because I knew he wasn't like I wish that he would pick Camilla in the sense that they're buddies, but I understood why he didn't pick her, of course, because she would have won. So,
Hmm.
and I kind of I appreciated that they both were on the same page of that as like whichever one of us gets the final three, if one of us gets to pick, we're not picking each other.
No,
So at
yeah.
least they had like a mutual respect about that, and it wasn't like Camilla was butthurt or anything.
Yeah. I was
So
butthurt
that
for
was
her,
good.
but
I was
I
too,
mean,
but I was
Matt
like,
was
come
like,
here.
chill out, Gina. They had an agreement. I'm like, "Ugh,
Yeah.
fine."
So. And
Yeah.
when it came down to the fire making, I was really, really worried because I knew that Joe was gonna try to trade places with Eva because
Hmm.
he's just that kind of person. And I was
Yeah.
really afraid that she would let him. And I was super glad that she didn't
Hmm.
because A, you got to fight your own battles, and B, that would have just been like boring to
It
watch.
would have been really boring. It would have
So,
been, wouldn't have been boring. It would have been really interesting to watch. I would have been like, what's happening right here? So like I
well,
almost wanted to see
yeah,
because it is like cringy, like and I like watching cringy things, but like it did not need to happen. That's for sure. I'm agreeing
yeah,
with you. I'm glad it didn't happen. It was
yeah.
gonna
And
make
she ended up
Eva
doing
look really
fine.
dumb. Yeah, of course,
Yeah,
of
and I
course, of course she did.
I
I
did feel
mean,
bad for Camilla. I was bummed that she didn't get the fire going, at least going, because
I
I think she
know.
just panicked in the moment, and I think she just tensed up and stressed out, and like didn't remember using enough magnesium and just all the little things she was
Well,
practicing
and
and
she
like,
said like she was like shaking and like she was just getting all
hmm
like
yeah,
flustered and it
she just
wasn't
got in a
helping.
tizzy. Yeah.
Hmm.
So, but then at that one point when the wind came and bait and almost blew out Eva's fire, I was like, oh my gosh, it's gonna be just like last season with Teeny
I
and Rachel,
I know.
and that's crazy.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, I was
I
thinking the
thought it
same
was
thing.
gonna
I
be
was
that
like, oh
again.
my
Yeah.
goodness, it's gonna happen
Yeah.
again
Hmm.
to Eva.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, oh no,
So,
but it didn't. She ended up winning, and I was like, no, okay, Camilla, darn.
yeah.
She seemed to be a good sport about it, though, honestly.
Yeah, she was super cool about it and like
Yeah.
really chill and
Yeah, and even when
um
she was on the jury, when they were doing their final jury talking, she was like having Kyle's back, and that is literally
yeah.
the reason why he won. For
Yeah,
because
I think
her,
so.
that story they did together. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and I think that I mean, I don't know. I'm assuming they all get to talk when they're in Ponderosa to each other. They're not like sequestered alone. So there was like time between her going home and then the final, you know, three people giving their speeches.
Yeah,
So she did
totally.
have time to talk to everyone at Ponderosa, I'm assuming, and that could have helped too.
But I don't think
But
she told anyone about their secret relationship until the very
no, she didn't,
final.
yeah, she didn't say that. But like she could have
Yeah.
still just painted, had good things to say,
Yeah, for sure.
and not been all salty. So
No, but at that final tribal when they were talking, it was just clear as day who was actually in control of the game and who were living in La La Land on that island. Like Eva living in La La Land the whole entire time. She was trying to take credit for the Shaheen vote, which had no backing to it.
yeah,
And it
I
was
was
just
like,
so
what?
perfect.
What are
Like
you talking
how,
about?
yeah. And then they let her talk and let her, and then it just like, Kyle, can you give your perspective on that? And that just changed the entire game.
It did, yeah.
And then you can,
Because
and then it
yeah,
changed the way David felt too. And then that kind
yeah,
of ricocheted into other
right.
people's opinions. And that was just the best part of it. And you just knew at that
Yeah.
time, oh my gosh, it's not Joe's game. This is Kyle's
Yeah.
game.
And I think it's because everyone realized for sure in that moment that like no that like Eva and Joe really had no strategy at all throughout the game.
No.
Like they really weren't playing Survivor. They just were like having fun on Survivor and they made it to the end. And they
Yeah.
did, I mean, they were likable people, but Kyle was the one who played Survivor.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that was what I think everyone was like, dang, like that's super cool. So
They had them all.
yeah.
Yeah. He had them all. Yeah. And
But
it would have
I
been hard. It would have been a split vote if Camilla was up there with him.
Oh yeah. And I was worried though that like up until the votes were actually read, I was still afraid that like I didn't know who was gonna win, even though I knew Kyle should win, but I was still afraid that people were just gonna vote for Eva because she's nice and overcame autism on this show, or that Joe is just a nice guy. Like I was afraid that they were gonna vote for them for those reasons, which
Yeah.
is not those the right reasons on Survivor. So
No,
anyways,
it was a good
I
ending. It got me because I
yeah,
was saying I feel like all season, especially since the middle, that I thought Joe was gonna like it was obvious to me that Joe was winning, right?
yes. Yeah. I thought
Apparently.
so.
Apparently not.
I mean, I wanted Kyle to win, but I just was dubious because Joe was so likable. But I thought it was funny when Chrissy was asking her questions and to Eva and Joe, and just about how they've been so honest and loyal. And she was like,
Hmm.
"When do you start turning against each other? When is the betrayal?" And I just think it's
Yeah.
so funny because that was her whole thing when she was still on the tribe too, is she was like, we got to start lying to people. We got to start betraying people. Like she was just so like focused on that, which was just funny because like only in the sense that everyone knows that's just not what Joe and Eva are doing.
Hmm.
And so like it was just funny. I'm like, if they didn't do it this entire game, they're not gonna do it right now, Chrissy. But
No,
it was
yeah.
just funny. She's like, betray,
Yeah,
betray
I
each other.
know. They couldn't.
So
They still won't. But
yeah,
what I was gonna say about that was like you do kind of have to like underlyingly betray people without them knowing. And that is exactly what Kyle and Camilla
yeah,
were doing the entire time to
yeah.
everybody,
Hmm.
even to almost a little bit each other. kind of.
Yeah, kind of. But yeah, and they did it without actually making anyone mad.
Yeah.
And David is the only person that kind of caught on to maybe what they were doing. But
Hmm.
I'm still just amazed because I think what the camera showed us was them talk. We saw them talking a lot, Kyle and Camilla,
Hmm.
and like collaborating a lot. But apparently, maybe that was like way fewer and way less time overall than it in real life, you know? So like, because the way they
Yeah.
made it sound was it, and they obviously pulled it off. Because I kept thinking like, how can people not see that they're like team? Because they talk so much, but they must have really just been
Yeah, there must
like
be,
super spies.
yeah, there must be a way like that you can do that without people knowing. I mean,
Yeah, they probably just talked like in passing if they were both they happened. I don't know, they just were really, really sneaky about it, which is super
yeah.
cool. Like for Survivor, they
Mhm.
did such a good job. So I'm
Yeah.
super happy with the outcome. I think it's like definitely the way it should have been.
Yeah.
And I did in a way feel bad that Joe only got one vote, only
I
because like he's such a nice guy. But that's also not the game. So I was like,
Yeah, he
dang,
only
like
did get one vote, and it was from Cedric, the person who doesn't vote with the group, which is
right,
hilarious.
right.
Um,
It's
but
funny.
yeah, so the reason why I think that the show kind of made it kind of like a Joe show, like if you notice all those edits, all those epic moments, like so much
Yeah.
focus on Joe's
Hmm.
amazingness, the whole season. That's why we all thought Joe was winning. Maybe the production like felt bad that Joe at the end of the season only got one vote.
Maybe.
And like we're like, dang, he deserves so much better. And like we're gonna pump Joe up and make the audience love him. And then at the end, he's gonna lose. Like third place. He's not even gonna
Yeah.
get second place. Eva's gonna get
Yeah.
second.
I
Not
know.
even gonna get third. Like he's gonna get
I
third.
was still surprised that she only got two votes. I mean, I was pleasantly surprised, but I still was like, dang, like I was just I was so impressed with everyone's voting, way more than I expected it to be.
So the two votes that
So,
Eva got were from Mary and Star,
or, yeah.
which I'm surprised with both of them. I did not think Eva was going to get a star vote at the end. I just didn't think that their relationship was that deep. I mean, they didn't even have
Yeah.
like a deep relationship. It was hard for them to even talk to each other. So why
I
would I
know
think?
that's true. They weren't really friends, but
Yeah, it was kind of
I think
weird.
it,
And then
yeah,
Mary, I thought she was gonna vote not with Eva, like with Camilla and with
right.
so I was really surprised that she got any actually.
Yeah, maybe for her it was just like a girl power thing.
Maybe, but that's silly. Anyway.
Yeah, I know. I feel like the season just goes to show that like yes, being like a Joe or an Eva and being like really honorable is a great quality to have as a human being. But
Yeah.
in the game of Survivor, it's kind of not what people want to see. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and
And it's
when we
also just not the game.
it isn't the game.
So, yeah,
You can be
it's
like
like,
that. Like Joe could have been like that, but also have played a secret little game like Kyle did. But Joe was just too, I don't know, the way that he was too dad. He was like, everyone better not lie to me.
right.
I'm gonna, are you lying to
Yeah,
me?
yeah, yeah,
Like
that's
I
true.
was like, just, and then
Yeah,
like David got too upset and like Kyle just played it cool.
he really did. Yeah, he was just cool all the time. And Kyle still did do like right by people. Like he was never mean. He was never like evil to anyone. Like even in the very first episode when like
Oh yeah.
he ended up helping Kevin finish his challenge, like he was just a good dude.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah,
anyways,
and yeah, he
yeah,
made the good move of getting out Shaheen because Shaheen probably could have won too.
yeah,
Next to him, maybe. That would have been a little bit difficult, more difficult maybe than the Joe and Eva duo that we all thought was like, oh my gosh, they're impossible to win. But if you really
yeah,
look at what they were doing, they were just playing house on the island.
yeah,
Joe, the dad, and Eva, the emotionally distraught daughter that gets upset when she can't do challenges perfectly or make
yeah,
fire perfectly. She had a lot of outbursts this episode, like a lot,
yeah.
like
It
at
was very
least three.
emotional.
Like, dang, Eva, chill out. I mean, you don't really know how long she's been there doing that for, but If you
Yeah.
start to feel like that, you just need to go and take a walk, go do something else, and come back to it later.
Yeah.
Give yourself a
And to be
mental
fair,
break.
she did have like such a huge like physical head up on everybody, like advantage compared to like most of the everyone on the
Yeah.
show,
No,
except for
yeah.
like David and I mean even Shaheen, she like beat on some stuff, like did
Hmm.
better, like so yeah, she
No,
had a
she was
huge, it's not
great.
like she was without, you know,
Strength or
abilities
physical. It
and
was just like
yeah,
it
she
was a
was a
mental
beast.
like perseverance that she just had has to build up. Anyway,
Yeah,
so we are playing Survivor Pool and we
yeah,
had 18 players. So that means our
yeah.
pool is up to a 180. So
Mhm.
we decided that the winner would get to take home 130, would win 130, and second place would get 50. So in our final five, we had, what are our final five again? Let me look over here. We had Joe, who was Sarah, Camilla, who was Tiffany, no, Jim, Kyle, which was you,
Yeah.
Eva, which was Tiffany, and Mitch, which was Carrie. So those were our final five people on our pool. And then it went down to final three, and our winner for our survivor pool.
It's me.
Lisa
I
wins.
never thought it would happen to me.
No one
Seriously, though, I
ever
didn't.
does. I know, no one ever
Yeah,
does.
I know, I know.
Yeah, so that was
Uh,
cool. You've had him the whole entire time watching his thing, and he freaking won.
I
That's
know. I
awesome.
screamed. I was really excited.
Right. And then our second place, Eva got second, and Tiffany will be
Yeah,
getting $50. So that's
yeah,
cool.
yeah.
It's really fun to do those pools with all the people and the
It
group
is fun.
chat on Survivor Night gets all fired up. Um,
Yeah.
so
And
we,
I was gonna say for our next season, we talked
uh-huh.
about this before. I like the pool. We could do that again. We could
Hmm.
also, in addition to that, do a bracket if
Yeah.
people wanted to do a bracket.
Mhm.
But yeah, did you have any other ideas?
I definitely want to do a pool again because it's easy to manage. You just get
Yeah.
everyone's money, you put everyone in a random generator and you get
Hmm.
picks. So
Yeah.
it seems fair and
Yeah.
easy.
It's
And then
easy.
it's already done at the beginning and you just play through it and then you
Hmm.
get winners. The
Hmm.
bracket one, I have an idea of what you are thinking. We would have to create like a worksheet kind of bracket.
Right. Which I'm
So
sure there's already a template online
probably,
somewhere
yeah.
because we used to do that for the bachelor bracket,
Okay, so
me and
I've
my
never done
friends. So
anything like a bracket, so I think,
yeah, I mean, everyone just fills out the order in which they think people will be eliminated. So if
okay,
anyone gets it right or gets the closest, they win a little prize. So
okay, cool. So I can
just fun.
host the pool thing again and get all
Yeah.
that, and you can do the bracket thing,
Yeah.
and we can have two games going.
Yeah. That'd be fun.
So each bracket page is like what? How much do you pay for a page if you want to fill out a bracket?
I don't know. I mean, I guess it might depend on how many people are interested. 'Cause I don't want the
Okay.
pot to be like crappy. I mean,
Hmm.
it could be $10 again. Um, I don't know. We can just see what people are interested in, maybe.
Yeah, we have all summer to
Yeah,
organize this too and ask for people. We already have 18 people who have played with the pool,
yeah,
so we have 18 maybes
right.
already.
Well, and the thing with the bracket is we can always have more than 18 people, or it doesn't even have to correlate to the characters.
No, no, it
So
doesn't.
we're not restricted by that, which is
No,
nice.
yeah, but it's
So,
at least we have some people who might be interested already to do
yeah.
that one too.
And if
Okay,
you know
cool.
any random people who don't
I
even
know.
watch the show, but just want to make a bracket and do some gambling,
Right? I
then,
know.
they can
Illegal
do that.
gambling,
So,
right?
yeah.
On
Hmm.
people on Survivor.
Yeah. So,
Cool. All right, so gosh, is there anything else we wanted to talk about? I have Shaheen. I have my notes right here. Well, we can talk
Um,
about what we've been playing every week. We have our predictions. So
oh yeah.
we didn't predict two. Well, we did predict two. The first person we picked was Mitch. So you're back to zero.
Yeah. So
And
I
then
broke even.
I'm at -2 because I was at -3. And then there was another one, but that one doesn't really, does that one count? No, because that's it.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
We didn't really
Because
predict a
it's like
winner.
eliminated, so that was it.
Yeah.
Mitch was
Yeah.
eliminated, and then
I know we should have thought to choose a winner,
yeah, we
but
didn't. That's okay.
I mean, I was already picking my guy because I wanted him to win.
That's true. I know. I was gonna probably
Yeah.
pick Joe anyway and
Yeah.
lose. So
Hmm.
I already lost this game. You won. You were right back up to zero. I think next time we do predictions, we won't do like negative if we get it wrong. We'll just add points onto if we get it right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That works.
Okay. Dang.
Yeah. Perfect.
Too bad my mom couldn't get on. She's not answering her phone.
I know that would have been fun. I don't know
She's
what
busy.
she's probably working in the yard,
She probably is. It is a
which is
nice
what
day
I
out
should
there.
do. Yeah, it is. Really nice.
Yeah, I know. It has been nice, but it's gonna get windy again in the weekend and it's gonna make me
Oh, is it?
upset. Yes.
Oh.
It's always windy on Friday and Saturday. And like gorgeous Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then Thursday, Friday, Saturday. It's like meh. I'm like, the
Yeah, well,
heck?
it's very still right now. Like, well, pretty, just a little breeze. But I have big aspirations for yard work. Whether I start that is to be seen. But that's my goal this afternoon is to just do something. Maybe well, I can't even do the green stock because I need to buy the plants. So I don't know. I'm just working on cleanup.
Yeah, that's half the
Yeah,
battle. That's the worst too.
it is. Yeah. So,
Hmm.
anyways.
I know. I have to I have to sweep and stuff all around my pool again because the wind.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
I'm like, well, should I just wait for the weekend after it gets windy again? Go sweep now, and then it'll get all windy and make it all messy again, and then sweep again. Or just sweep
Yeah.
one time on Monday when it's nice and no one can
You
come
could
over and hang out.
sweep now so there's less to be blown into the pool.
That's,
And
yeah, that
then,
there's that.
yeah,
That's true. I already did my patio. My patio is beautiful.
nice.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Anyway, well, it
Well,
was a great season. This is
yeah.
season number 2 for us. I
Hmm.
can't believe we've been doing this for 2 seasons. Well,
Yeah, I
almost
know.
almost 1 year. So Survivor 49 will be like 1 year anniversary that we have started our pod.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
know. It's been fun, and I'm really excited for the next season already of
Yeah, season
Survivor.
49. We did see a little
But
recap. We'd have no
yeah,
idea what it means because all these pictures and people and faces, we have no idea who they are. So it's just like,
right. Yeah.
new Survivor season.
Yeah, I know. It's always just like, okay, it doesn't really mean anything to me until it
Yeah.
starts. So,
I almost want to
but
watch
it
the
is exciting.
preview that they showed us for 48 and like see if like we
Yeah.
see Kyle or
Yes.
like
Yeah,
see
because
if we
then
can be
it'll
like,
suddenly like have some meaning.
yeah, and be like, who do I think will
So,
win? That's what we need to do
yeah.
when we do the bracket.
Yes.
Analyze season 48,
Right.
then analyze season 49 to figure out maybe how we
Oh,
should
the
fill in
edit.
our bracket.
Oh, okay. And we can
Yeah.
also look at all of the cast, little interviews that they post, their little summaries.
Yes, yes, yes,
Not
yes.
that
Well,
that
when we do our
necessarily means
cast
much, but
reveal for 49,
yeah.
like we always do, that maybe can be a time where we can fill out our bracket together too.
Yeah,
Cool.
definitely. So
We'll
it'll need
analyze.
some research time. But if any of our viewers are interested in joining the bracket too, let us know. We'd be happy to get you in
Comment,
on that.
give us a
And we can
comment.
make it easy for you. We'll send you a bracket to fill out, or you can send me your order and I will
Hmm.
fill out a bracket for you and send it back to you. So just let us know. But that'll be
Yes.
fun. And in the
Yes, it will.
meantime, this summer, we will still be doing our podcast just with different stuff. So stay tuned.
Yes, we
Gonna
might
be
have
fun.
an end of, we should do a podcast on Farmer Wants a Wife because we have been
Yeah.
diligently
Yes.
binge watching that. And
Yeah.
we should probably do like an all cap maybe at the very end and do
Yeah.
one like a summer
Hmm.
episode.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
then we'll figure out some more shows to watch and nerd out on and
Yeah.
do it all.
Yeah, that sounds
But
good.
but in between then and now, Lisa, I hope you have a great summer and I hope you come back to me and see me soon because I'm getting really sad.
I
Because I feel
will.
like we don't have any plans until June. Is that
I
true?
know. Father's Day, yeah. So
May,
three
June.
weeks. Is
Okay.
that right?
Is that th That's not only 3 weeks. It feels like way longer because I looked at the calendar and it was like five.
I think it's
What is it, the
uh
21st? One, two, three. It is
yeah.
3 weeks.
Yeah.
3 weeks and 1, 2, 3 days.
Yeah.
Okay. But on
Until
Flag
we're back
Day.
together.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. Well, in between
Perfect.
then, I hope you survive out there, Lisa.
I hope you do too. Stay cool.
Yes, thank you. See you later.
Bye.
Bye.